time for reasons. I've been flying from town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe trying to protect your soul. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. Show any fear. I've been flying from town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe trying to protect your soul. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. Town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe trying to protect your soul.
Good evening, Titan Esports, and welcome to Week 3 of Divinity with Iridescent Dawn Toxin versus Conduit Esports Imperium. I'm joined by Heat, as always.
How's it going, man? Glad to have you back.
Good to be back, honestly.
Yeah, last week we had a crazy 2-0 game and series, and now we're going to see which one of these teams are going to be coming out swinging. Hopefully we get a lot more action. I mean, last week was really fun to cast because there was just fight after fight after fight. So I'm hoping to see either some weird picks or something interesting this week.
Hopefully some weird picks with the patch change and everything happening, and then of course watching all the fun of pro play makes people want to just start doing weird things in game anyway.
Yeah, probably going to see a couple Yone bans, maybe even a Yone pick, which be cool to see if we do see it. Maybe Yone Yasuo action or I don't know. I'm excited to see how Trash Panda does. I've seen this player around a couple of times too, and in the jungle should be able to make some plays happen.
Absolutely. And of course, Bam playing AD carry. He's been around for quite a while on the scene, playing for some older organizations and moving here. Of course, Trucks being his support, also around in the scene for quite a bit. Hopefully their synergy on bot lane will be really good against Lagor and Poodle 25. Both teams are currently sitting at, well, showing 1-0 right now. I'm not sure if that's actually true or not for the situation currently. But hopefully we see some banger matchups tonight in these lanes, and hopefully that we have a great match from both teams tonight.
Yeah, excited to see who's going to stand out on each of these teams here. Who's going to be the playmaker, the engage, or even just carrying their team on their back. So I'm glad to see some new faces in this matchup, and excited to see what's going to happen.
Absolutely agree. And I mean, biggest thing with this is, of course, just seeing how the teams communicate together. And I mean, first week we had some crazy games, an absolute blowout in the first match, and then the second match was a lot closer, but still 2-0 victory. I did miss last week, but I heard it was another 2-0 victory. So maybe we can break that streak tonight, get a 3-game match happening, but we'll have to wait and see, I suppose.
Yeah, a big thing that we're seeing in these matchups here, of course, in Divinity with the plat gold elo, is some teams been playing for what looks like forever. Because I mean, they move in one direction, one goal, just get to that nexus, take it down, get that win, and then some other teams are kind of struggling with that late team fighting, late engages. A lot of teams are watching things happen and not sure how to react to it. So hopefully both these teams together tonight will be able to recognize situations and how to attack them correctly.
Absolutely agree. And I mean, of course, with that as well, we can look at the objectives happening with Dragon, with Grubs, especially with those early Grubs going on. Because at least getting 3 of those in the first round will help you at least get to the point where you can get 4 and not have to worry about it too much for the next round. Just grab 1 real quick if you can with a smite and get out. It's fine. Dragons, of course, always fun to watch, see what happens, and try to figure out which one's going to be the next soul that comes up.
Yeah, I personally like to attack Grubs first and get double Grubs on that part, and then kind of see what dragons can stack up together. But we're going to see what CEI bans out with their first ban here. You can see they're 0-2 with that 4th place spot, so they definitely want to try and get a win here tonight to even out that, try and even out their score here. So definitely don't want to fall too far behind in the series this early in the league here. So Ari and Cassiopeia ban, CEI has their next ban up right now.
Absolutely, and I mean, a lot of mid lane commands coming down, which I guess makes sense. Mid lane has been very volatile in both the pro scene and within Divinity as a whole. So we now have the third one coming out with Syndra. So we have Ari Syndra, we have Cassiopeia. We might end up seeing another. We have the Cogma coming out, which is crazy hyper carry with the new items and everything changed over.
Yeah, I've seen one of the supports loves to play Lulu as well, and Ash being Matt's highest ranked AD carry. So keeping Kog'Maw banned out on this one, I think, is a great move here. If you don't have anything to really attack it and lock it down, Kog'Maw can take out your whole team. Doesn't matter how tanky you are or not, they'll get shredded for sure. Twitch being banned out here too. A lot of AD carries banned out already this early. I wonder if they're going to take one now. Seraphine can be flexed out. I love that pick. I mean, it just does a little bit of everything, and it's so annoying to deal with in the bot lane.
Absolutely. It also could be like a mid lane pick as well. Because I mean, Seraphine mid isn't bad. It's really good for the setup, and it gives you the ability of doing something like a hyper carry bot lane, AD carry, and then like a tanky support. But you also have that ability of getting the healing out. The overall CC from Seraphine is insane. Braum coming out, great counter pick to the Seraphine, regardless of where she's going, just because he has this wall. It stops basically everything she can do, and then Jinx pick up.
Yeah, so they banned out one hyper carry and picked the other. I like that with that Jinx there. Lethal Tempo was back. Not the same Lethal Tempo, but still a ton of damage with that champion and building whatever you want as well. Senna going to be there in the bot lane as well. We see a fasting Senna or a CSing Senna. We'll have to wait and see for that one. I like that champion a lot too with the Black Cleaver build and healing on top of it. You can still do a little bit of damage here later in parts in the game and be a great support to add on to that as well. With Seraphine, if they do combo together in that bot lane, you kind of have a best of both worlds there. Range and range damage and your healing on top of that. Udyr and Xin are picked up here for the jungle. Udyr I love because you can kind of force the jungler into situations they don't really want to be in.
Absolutely, and I mean, with that, Seraphine still sitting there. It's still a flex pick. Could be bot lane, could be mid as well. It's kind of crazy. We do have the Renekton and the Shen ban coming out. Shen, of course, Weeze's most played champion. Makes sense they're going to get rid of that. Renekton just super strong in general. Great bruiser player, and then of course he just can sit in the side lane forever. Anivia, another mid lane coming out. We have 4 mid lane bans coming out so far with the Anivia coming out now. Honestly, I'm not sure what I'm going to see with the last ban at this point.
Another mid ban. Who would have guessed?
And there's a way.
Yeah, if there's a will, there's a way, and that's banned out for this one. Hui is one of those champions, like, this does a little bit of everything. It's still even hard to figure out what that champion does. Aurora, wow, I haven't even seen that in any play at all. I didn't even really know what that champion does. I know the ulti can lock them down and kind of run around as well. Do you have any insight on the Aurora pick here?
I mean, Aurora in general, especially with like pro play coming out, people have been wanting to play, and we see an Aurelia coming out. Firstly, we did have information before the game about Aurelia being played possibly in mid from Soxathize, so it looks like, I mean, he said it wasn't going to come out in the first game. We're seeing it in the first game, and then a Gwen throwing it out. So it's going to be Senna, Seraphine bot lane. Aurora more likely going to be a top lane pick, realistically. It did start seeing more mid lane play during the pro play at the pro scene recently, but it's been a consistent, and actually we have Jax, so it's going to be mid. So we have mid Aurora with Jax into Gwen and Irelia.
Yeah, I don't really have too much to say about that. We're going to have to wait and see on my end here for the Aurora pick here. The Jax late game scaling and definitely a menace in that top lane. Against the Gwen, though, it's kind of a 50-50 matchup there. I feel like Gwen wins that based off of just skill. If they are very versatile in that Gwen pick, they can definitely outmatch the Jax. But I mean, 30 minutes into a game with Jax, you're just going to be kind of outskilled there with just Jax things up there. So with that being said, I'm looking at the two comps that we have in this game right now. I don't really see what CEI is going to be looking forward to, if it's going to be split pushing or trying to get that 5v5 going. But with the Gwen up there in the top lane, it's a great split push talent, but Jax definitely going to be able to match up with that. I'm looking for Seraphine and Senna to get out of that bot lane as soon as possible and try and win some of these objective fights.
Absolutely agree. And also, it's going to be a fasting Senna with that support item, so it does make more sense. Seraphine going to be trying to go for those CS, trying to get that more damage down. And again, I mean, as long as they can play smart enough against the Braum, it's not going to be an issue. You can still get into all of Seraphine's CC, not have any issues with it. As long as you can dodge that E from Braum, it should be fine.
Yeah, definitely going to be a hard matchup in that bot lane there. Jinx is going to need a little bit of time there to get some damage going on. Panda on the Xin and then Matt on the Udyr. They're really going to shift the momentum in this game here to figure out what each team is going to want to do throughout these stages, 10 to 20 to 30 minutes in the game here. Look for Udyr to try and get some invades going on, but I mean, you're definitely going to pull some weight here from that bot lane on the side of IDT if Udyr wants to get some invade plays going on.
Absolutely agree. And they did unfortunately miss a ward from blue side. They almost got it. I really didn't attack it fast enough, so now there is a ward for red side showing not going to do much for them as a whole, but there's also a blue ward in the jungle for red. So Udyr is going to be seen on that red buff more than likely. And then it's just going to be mainly just a lot of poke coming down originally, right off the rip actually, with Bam and Poodle both going at each other with those CCs. Jax going in for an early E onto the Gwen. Doesn't have her invulnerability yet, so she's just taking some free damage. Jax does walk away with most of his health bar. Both sides actually down to half health now, it looks like.
Yeah, bot lane getting scrappy here too. Brown trying to get some of that pressure off, but I mean, the duo of the Senna Seraphine with the range and the poke damage is a little too much for Jinx to deal with this early in the game here. Still level 1 down here in that bot lane. We hit level 2 pretty quickly here. Lawrence is looking a little bit scared.
Lawrence does get the E off, gets level 2 now, and it's just fight after fight for both sides. The Ignite coming down from the Gwen isn't going to be able to take him out, but does get a little more health down. Gwen, though, sitting on about a quarter health left, doesn't have the ability of really going back in on that and has to back very early.
Yeah, Lawrence has a flash a bit. If they want to get a little aggressive, they can definitely try and get that first blood in that top lane. They will let Weez back, though. Weez does have the TP to get back to lane, though, so not a terrible trade, but, I mean, no sums this early in the game is going to really hurt if Jack starts getting levels faster. And shout out to Pro Comps here, renewing their sponsor with us at Titan, and we're seeing that IDT has a 63% chance to win this game here based off of the comp that we have going on with them. Just looking at top lane here, I'm just really excited to see if Lawrence is going to try and chase down Gwen in this huge wave.
I mean, he's trying it, but I don't know if it's the best idea. There is a huge minion wave there. Lawrence is just taking free damage and does go down for first blood. He did have flash. He didn't use it. Honestly, he would have been able to live that realistically if he had just flashed out of the queue, but Gwen getting first blood.
And bot lane, right back at it again. Here comes a Brown Shield to negate some of that damage here. And yeah, Ligor is not having a fun time on this Jinx so far. 15 CS to 21. Seraphine already pulling a lead here. And now Aurelia. I haven't been talking too much about that mid lane pick here. That is kind of a pocket pick here for Socks to Thighs. And I mean, they said they had a whole AD kind of pool to pick from here, and Aurelia being the one that they wanted to go with. Had to back and use that TP to get back to lane though, but I don't really see too much out of this mid lane here. Oh, here comes the gank.
Udyr is going in for the gank. We do get the stun down from Socks to Thighs. Does actually go back in on the Udyr and actually takes him out solo, with Aurora getting very close to going down as well. Aurora does have flash though. She flashes away. Trash Panda just walking in, getting some damage down, almost takes her out. Honestly, Aurelia getting that first kill there is going to be excruciatingly painful against the Aurora. And also, the CS numbers are so even. If you're playing ranged into melee, you should be trying to just consistently push in and prevent them from getting that. We do actually have the TP also coming in from Trucks on the Seraphine. And here comes the TP in from Aurora with Cheshire. TP is all around the map at this point coming in. And I mean, Soxodai is just showing that the Aurelia pick is actually good into it.
Dude, what was that burst? I feel like it came out of nowhere on the Xin or on the Udyr actually. Udyr looking like they had a free kill in the bag right there with that mid lane gank, and all of a sudden they were just gone and dead to rights here. Got a little bit of a replay going on. Udyr, Matt looking very, very confident here in this. And he's going to walk up, he's going to stun the Aurelia, and really gets that huge double E stun. And the tower shot's just going to take Matt down to quarter health. And Socks to Thighs just taking that over confidently right there. Great job by the outplay from Socks to Thighs in that mid lane Aurelia.
I do feel like Socks to Thighs could have gone for the kill on the Aurora early there. I mean, like, she could have flashed in and then gotten a Q down. Probably would have killed the Aurora, even going after them after they flash. But safer to keep the flash, available to use it later on. Honestly, Aurora a bit behind now, 400 gold now, and top lane's the same way, 200 gold from there, with the Gwen getting that first blood. CEI just showing what they're doing with this comp, and that it's consistent around the map. Like, it's just fight after fight, but they're taking them so well.
Yeah, hopefully that carries on through later parts of this game here. But, I mean, 0-2 and coming out swinging this confidently is kind of crazy in my opinion. This IDT team is 2-0.
I think it's the other way around, actually.
Oh, sorry. CEI showing why they're 2-0 right now.
Everything's been confusing. We're just still figuring it out, guys.
Huge fight in the bot lane here. Jinx gets stunned up.
Yeah, and actually Seraphine taking a lot of damage, gets hit by the Jinx W. And we do actually see the Xin Zhao there as well, so shouldn't try to go in on that. Udyr is kind of hovering around that bot side jungle. Jack's going in for a counter. Everything happening across the map at this point again. We do actually see Braum walking over to the Xin with the Udyr there. He may end up getting caught out. Does hit the W down, but...
yeah, they're going to keep chasing this one. Send a W going down. The Trash Panda still staying alive, though. Healing going crazy.
Okay, Trash Panda. Okay, so that is a kill of top lane as well. Jax gets killed by the Gwen again. We do have Jinx going down, and we also have Xin Zhao going down. But we do have Socks to Thighs going onto the Aurora again. Aurora does get ulted by the Aurelia. Goes in, gets flashed on, uses her ultimate to run away. Trash Panda's back up. We can see that happen. Aurora goes down to Seraphine. Fights are just consistently happening. Braum getting caught out by the W from Senna, and that's going to be a almost dead Braum. Can the
Great
E hit?
flash by him.
Does not hit. It's so close though.
Struck still trying to get some damage back down, trying to finish off that Braum. A great job by Flash and Wing back into safety for with that Udyr. Udyr coming back to help out his teammate right there as well. With that being said, though, this Aurora pick is not looking too solid so far in the game right now. Aurelia might be snowballing their way into a victory here with CEI. 1-0 on the Aurelia, almost 20 farm up in that mid lane against a ranged mid laner here. And hopefully this Aurora pick can kind of ramp back up in the middle of the game here. Probably going to need a couple items on that champion to get some damage going on. Again, first time kind of seeing this in a cast game of mine, so I'm not really sure what to think about this. Trash Panda going from a death screen all the way up to Grubs, and Matt is not having it.
Yeah, it looks like they are going to just put over that last grub there. Red team does take the grub, so I think it's going to be 2-1, I believe, if I'm not mistaken there. But, I mean, honestly, the fight's consistently across the map. While we had that huge fight happening in the mid bot lane jungle, Gwen did get another solo kill on Jax. So Jax is dead twice now to the Gwen. Is up by about 6 CS overall, but that wave right there is going to get that back for him. Honestly, not sure what happened with that, but it's kind of crazy how much this Gwen is just shoving this Jax down and just making sure he can't get that scaling taken care of.
Yeah, this is really rough right now for IDT. It's 8 minutes in the game, down 4 kills, down almost 2k gold at this early in the game.
Really, a good dodge from the Gwen there. I mean, Gwen, again, just going in onto Lawrence, like, Weeze is just going to go for another solo kill if he can. Misses the ultimate second and third one, so is going to have to back away. But Jax going very low yet again to that Gwen. Great
zoning ults right there from Weeze to hold it down in that top lane, make sure Jax knows what's going on up here. That is their lane to keep right now. Udyr's still hovering though. Face socks to thighs.
Toxin's just going for that aggressive, and actually Lawrence almost going down yet again with Udyr. Udyr was hovering there for quite a bit and then walks away, and it's almost like a sixth sense they had. But okay, cool, Udyr's gone. I can go back in on the Jax now and just start taking him down.
Yeah, so this game is running away right now from IDT, and what they need to do is slow this one down, keep farming, keep scaling. You have 3 scaling members on your team right now. You have the Jax, the Aurora, and the Jinx.
Toxin going in again on the Aurora, does miss the E, but getting taken down under half health, actually. Very close match. Udyr is there, but does just go onto that ward, so Soxodice knows he's there. Just going to hang out a little bit, wait for the minions. Xin Zhao is there to counter Gang as well, though, if need be. Trash Panda consistently coming in at the right times. Soxodice does get hit by the Aurora, but nothing too much coming from that. I mean, Soxodice is just playing a very aggressive game, and it's working out really well for him.
I mean, I think Matt's kind of scared to go back in that mid lane after that last fight as well, so I don't blame them at all. This is Soxodice's game to take over if they want to. I think as soon as that mid lane tower goes down as well, Lawrence is still trying to keep up with this Gwen.
Yeah, Gwen actually getting hit by the counter-strike, sorry. But actually does take down Jax again. That's another solo kill. That's 3-0 for that Gwen. And another mid-jungle fight. Udyr getting caught by the stun. Gets hit by the Aurelia. Oh, he is just getting melted by this Aurelia. And Trash Panda taking the kill again. I mean, the Aurelia's damage is just so insane right now, and she has her one on him. And of course, bot lane too. Jinx getting taken down by Trucks with the Seraphine. This is just going insane again with the first week, man. It's like, it's just every single time. It's like a kill a minute at this point.
I don't think you've had a chance to even catch your breath yet, man. It's been fight after fight after fight. It's been a dumpster fire for IDT. Soxodice still going crazy against Aurora.
Aurora just getting taken down so fast, and it's like Aurelia's. I mean, you don't see it very often in general, but like especially not like in this elo. I feel like really like you don't see an Aurelia player normally pulling it out just because it's usually banned or it's not something that they're comfortable on. But Soxodice is just consistently hammering down that like the Aurora, and I mean they're also up by 10 CS already, so it's kind of crazy.
Yeah, and that's a rough one to pull out too. There's not really any counterplay to go against it unless you're gonna go, I mean, melee versus melee. If you're gonna throw a Renekton or something in that mid lane there, and that kind of throws away the whole reason of having an AP laner in that mid lane. So they're gonna have to ban this Aurelia out next game. I don't think they want to see it at all because even if you went control mage, they're still gonna kind of run through that mid lane here. And I mean, the CS thing is just so quick. I mean, auto Q, and the whole wave's gone.
So MGS shift center coming in the mid, and Bam does show up. Aurora does get caught out by the E from earlier, but does end up getting away. I mean, really good roam up there after that back, and I mean, Jinx is just having such an issue bot lane as well. Down 14 CS still, 0-2. Braum does have a kill, so that's really helpful. The only kill they have is on that Jhin. But I mean, Gwen is just gonna consistently push in.
I couldn't tell if that was sarcasm or not.
Nah, man, I feel bad for the Jinx Braum right now, man. Honestly, like the Xin Zhao kill was good, but it's like they only got that one back for 3 of them in that mid jungle fight. So I mean, like it's a tough game for IDT right now, and they're gonna have to do a lot of turtling to get that to work. And Bam up top, waiting for those grubs to come up. Matt's going up, does get cut out. Wheeze takes him down half health with 1 Q with a fully stacked passive. 1 Q.
And they're still chasing. Matt is running for his life right now.
Matt's life is gone at this point. I feel like the ultimate coming out gets stunned up again by the Senna. Does have the ultimate come out. Does miss. Lawrence taken down also. Like they have everybody's coming up top lane right now to hang out. Aurora shows up. I believe Xinjiao is just taking those grubs though at this point, and he's just getting them for free because they're just trying to fight everybody. And we have 4 people top lane right now from both sides, which we did talk about this at the beginning.
This is the problem right now that you're dealing with IDTs.
And Soxathai is going on once again. I mean, Rom trying to get the stun down. They are about to get that done. Does get the W up from Aurelia, so it's not going to happen. But
I mean, they're down 5k gold, 7 kills. You don't want to be fighting right now. Even if it looks like what they're doing it should be illegal, it's still theirs to take, and it's their game to take as well.
Okay,
and there's just nothing you can really do about that. So, I mean, you just have to kind of sit back and wait till it's your moment. Right now, CEI is in the driver's seat, and they're not leaving anytime soon.
Absolutely. And I mean, Soxathai is on that. They're like getting 3-man ganked at this point. Brom's up there. Udra's hanging out there. Roar's there. He sees the Brom. He saw the Brom.
I'll take the odds on it really right now.
I mean, there's the ultimate comes out. 2 ultimates come out. Does just have to flash away, but I mean, that's 2 ultimates expended for 1 person. They didn't get anything off of it. And I mean, it's Aurelia just being able to get away from things in general. Like she went in, Q autoed multiple minions, got the minions down, still gets more CS, and then backs out and walks away. And is wasting so many resources mid against him. And
yeah, meanwhile,
Senna
Trunks
again
is living his best life. Oh, Senna's caught out.
Gets such a good stun too. Udyr coming in, gonna get blasted down from that Senna. Senna has to flash away. Ultimate coming in from Jinx, but Aurelia's just sitting there, just healing up like crazy. Passive stacked, and that's gonna be a dead Udyr. We are looking at probably a dead Aurora as well at this point. And he gives the kill over to Aurelia. Goes, here you go, force feed it, get to slow down. And Seraphine's just hanging out bot lane, like, yeah, no, this is cool. Give me get my minions. I'm still up 17 CS right now, like.
This is every ranked solo duo player's nightmare right now. A Fed Aurelia and a Fed Gwen. I mean, if you ever have wanted to
Absolutely.
FF15, it's right now in this moment, because these are the 2 champions that they don't even have to be in the fights anymore. You just send Aurelia bot lane, send Gwen top, and you just keep running it down to see which one's gonna get a winning fight in their hand, or just be at the next 10 minutes or so. I mean, right now, it's just looking like a go next for IDT, and I feel bad saying that, but sometimes you just have to cut your losses and figure out what needs to happen. Here we have that replay in the mid lane fight.
I mean, the stun coming in onto the Aurora, and then Udyr coming in trying to get him out. Senna does go very low, but does get that flash away, even gets smited. Jinx Rocket coming in, but Aurelia's stacks are already full. She Qs into 1 minion, takes out Udyr to under a quarter health, and then takes him out. And then Aurora just getting slowed by the Senna, getting slowed by the Xin right there, just immediately guaranteed that death.
And that's the only part that I hated about that fight right there, is Aurora flashed in to try and get that Senna with the last shot, which, I mean, if it works, it works, and you don't get to hate it. But I mean, right there, you should just be trying to blow up early as fast as possible. Even if it looks like the fight's dead, you shouldn't be trying to kind of greed away for that 1-shot kill on the center right there.
Absolutely.
Also, I mean, it's 15 minutes in, guys. Relax. We're good. Take a deep breath. Everybody relax. Lauren, stop fighting. You're good, dude. That top lane is lost. You don't have to keep trying to run it down in that Gwen. It's game 1, everybody. It's game 1. Just take a breath. Try and pull it together. Get a team going, a game plan going, and see if you can win a 5v5.
I mean, here goes again. Getting the E down. I mean, that's like 2 autos coming out from early, and that's like a half health Aurora from almost full. A big issue, though, I see, and that's going to be Herald going down for the blue side as well, is that with Aurora, with Jax, you want to have them side laning, you can't really do that, because you're going to have Aurelia, you're going to have Gwen in those side lanes as well, just going, no, not this time. And I mean, like...
I mean, look at Trash Panda, too. Trash Panda having the most autonomous, like, jungle game of their life right now. Every lane is winning, and you kind of just get to sit and take camp after camp after camp. Oh, objective's up. Let me go get that real quick, and then Dragon's up. Let's go down your dragon.
Dream at this point, man. This is a jungler's dream, just being able to go, oh, cool, all my lanes are winning? Fantastic.
Oh,
but ends up completely whiffing his ultimate, unfortunately. We do have the Herald coming out. That's going to be an immediate dead tower. They could actually dive, honestly. I mean, I don't think they're going to be able to stop them. They should honestly go for the dragon, though. Get that second dragon. Is that another... No, it's not mountain. Okay. I was like, is it another mountain one? No.
It's going to be a Chemtech dragon for number 2 for the CEI team. That'll be a tower as well. Rift Herald
and Seraphine going into Herald
again.
Going for that drift into the tower. That's going to be a dead pink ward there, maybe? Yes. And then, of course, there goes that.
Oh!
We do actually have him going into the Braum. Does get kind of stunned up. But Braum just had the WA. That's going to be the Sentinel ultimate coming out. We do have a
4v3
teleport
going.
in. No, we actually have a 4v4 coming in because there's Aurelia coming in with the teleport as well. I mean, honestly, this is just insane. Look at the damage. Like that was a Seraphine Q that just took out half the health bar of an Udyr and a Jax. Like
yeah, it's a rough game right now. I mean, Truck's got to run it down the bot lane, get trapped, and still live to tell the tale afterwards, and that's just not what you want to see.
Because she is just getting slapped by all of the melee heroes tonight, and it just feels really bad.
It might be. It's just not their game right now. I don't know. Aurora's. First time I've seen it in a casted game, and it's not looking too well. I want to see it against maybe a mage or just another control mage, I guess, and see how it works against that. To me, it feels like that champion didn't have a chance against Aurelia, who's just gonna run it down at you.
Really, just walking into the turret, doesn't even care, and is just like, no, we're good. Don't worry about it. Gets the minions anyway. I mean, that's an almost 40 CS lead in mid lane right now. Top lane 30 plus CS. Bot lane, it's actually gotten smaller. It's 16 now. But I mean, with the Gwen, with the Aurelia, you have to worry about what's going to happen to like the mid lane game because they're just going to continue to stop. They're getting their items early, so they're going to be able to consistently do that. And that's actually a 7k gold onto the Aurelia already at 18 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, there is no mid game. It's CEI just going to slowly bleed you out until you're ready to go into game 2 right now. That's kind of what the point is right now. I mean, it's 9k gold, 10 kills up. It's only 18 minutes in. And, I mean, we just got one item on Jax. We just got one item on the Udyr, and one item mid and bot as well. These members of CEI are working on their second or third item already.
Yeah, and I mean, Zinjao, it looks like hasn't gone back for a bit. So he was sitting on just one item. He did just go back now, pick up some wards too. I mean, we have Black Cleaver already on the Senna. We have, I mean, we're just looking at a crazy game right now. Aurora is sitting bot lane now, which is where you want her to be. You want her to be inside lane, same with the Jax. I think they should honestly switch though. I think Aurora should go against the Gwen. I think she'll have a better chance actually doing it. And with Aurelia going into Jax, it'll be a little bit harder for the Aurelia, I feel like, than going into an Aurora who can't really stun her up and can just kind of get jumped on immediately.
I mean, honestly, I don't think Gwen or Aurelia care whoever's in front of them right now at this point in the game. It could be anybody. Sun 3, they're still going to try and fight that 1v3. So at this point, I mean, IDT is just trying to figure out. This is what really makes a team better, though, and stronger, is these moments, these situations. It's really where you find your mental and find out who you are as a team and as a player of League of Legends is these moments right now. The world's against you, your back's against the wall. The avalanche is turning into just a...
I'm not sure what Braum's trying to do. He was walking like right into like half the team, gets caught out, gets stunned up. That is going to be an ultimate coming out from Seraphine, ultimate coming out from Senna. That is a dead Braum over to Zin. Udyr trying to go in and stop some damage, but I mean, goes down to almost half health from just a couple of attacks by the Aurelia and the Seraphine. Crazy battle, and of course, Gwen just taking out half the team at this point on the back end. I mean, look at Aurelia just going in, gets the Aurora. It's going to live too. She's out. She's good.
There's no rules for CEI right now. They can die between two towers at 20 minutes in the game. They don't care what's in front of them. They're just looking at that Nexus, and they just want it gone as soon as possible. And they've already built the stepping stones to get them in that situation. I mean, game 1, starting off so strongly here, IDT really has to flip the whole series in their head in this game too, or they're really going to be struggling to get this one back. Right now, it's just looking like CEI just wants to... They're surgical about it, but they just want to get this game over with.
Absolutely, and I mean, honestly, the biggest thing I think we saw was that there were so many mid lane bans, and none of them made a difference against an Aurelia.
I gotta say Gwen.
Yeah, I didn't even see Gwen
from.
Where did Gwen come? Yeah, that's honestly a good question. Where did Gwen?
Seraphine, there's Aurelia just running it down, and that.
So Gwen just walked down and was like, "Oh, look, a Jinx, great!" Now she gets segmented and dies. And then Aurora and Udyr are on the box side. Of course, Udyr gets just blown up by the Zin, the Aurelia, and Aurelia just going in onto the Aurora again. Can't really escape. I mean, they're just playing this so well, and they're using all of their advantages to just consistently push and push and push. I mean, Aurelia going in again onto the Aurora, almost getting her with an E again. I don't know how many times Suxadize is gonna just stun people.
I mean, that Aurelia Q range is unfair, right? I mean, you would think that you're safe on Aurora, like being 10 feet away, but somehow Aurelia is just dashing at you from, I mean, 2 to 3 minions away. It's insane right now that Suxadize just gets to play like this.
I mean, Gwen's the same way, though, if you're looking at it. I mean, Gwen has been just popping in from, like, the other side of the map, jumps in, gets 1 Q and ulti down, and then it's a person's health bar just getting chunked to under a quarter. I mean, like...
Right.
they're just waiting in the jungle. They just want to fight at this point. They just want to get these picks. And I mean, they're playing it so well. Like Braum going in, Jinx gets the W down, but does end up getting the stun onto both. Ultimate coming in too. Ultimate does come out from the Braum though. Ligor just gets blown up immediately, goes down to Bam. Bam just getting the slows down onto both of them. Zing goes in onto the Braum, and that's a dead Braum. That is a 2-for-0 again.
You
I'm really
can't
pushing bot lane.
do this. What am I? Okay, listen, guys. For everyone who wants, ladies and gentlemen, and everyone else in between as well, if you want to come back from a loss or something that's looking to a loss like this, you can't look into these situations where you know there's 3 people in that jungle. You know it's there's no vision in there.
There's nobody.
You can't walk up like that. There's nothing you can do about it. I mean, you gotta let everything go. Let the Baron go. Let the Dragon go. Let everything else go. It is not yours anymore. The only thing you can fight for is try and get some picks in the side waves. Try and push down some of these towers. Try and get something in top of that. You know that they're on the Baron. Try and get that Dragon. Maybe 5v1
going on to Aurora again. Just walking in.
It's.
I mean. And I think that's the biggest thing is like if you're this far behind, you can't just blindly walk into your jungle, even if you're like in a duo like with Braum and Jinx. Jinx got blown up by a Senna Q and a Seraphine double Q. I mean that was like over 3/4 of her health bar down with just 2 skills. Like you can't walk into that. You can't walk into your jungle if you don't know where people are at and you can't see anything on the map.
And it's I mean, not... at this point, you got to send 5, even just to get a couple of wards down or get a Baron vision. I mean, it's all or nothing right now at this point in the game for IDT, and every little mistake you make is gonna follow into you losing your Nexus, and that's just the point of the game that you're in right now.
Absolutely, and I mean, honestly, like it's almost been like a perfect game by CEI minus that one death on Zen, but I mean, it was still a good fight. They ended up getting 3, I think, for that one. And I mean, like, it just shows that, like, they obviously been playing for a while together, since they've just been doing well. You do actually have the double stun coming out onto the Gwen. She is still alive, though. I mean, she's getting her healing up with her ultimate. Gets the Senna ultimate. She does take down the Udyr in the Jax. She's 2v1ing them right now, basically, with the Senna ultimate. Jinx rocket coming in, does miss. Jax can't walk up, and he's gonna die. They can see him on the ward, and there goes an Aurora again. And Irelia does die, though. She does die. So Irelia is dead. Irelia gets the shutdown, but... it might be a little bit too little, too late, unfortunately.
Sometimes you gotta take the little things. You gotta take the little wins here. Make yourself feel a little bit better here about the stomp that's going on right now in this game. I mean, 19-2, 16,000 gold and 17,000 gold. It is just, yeah. I mean, you can see they're kind of looking for a way to get back into this game too, but it's just a little too late right now.
Honestly, getting chunked down by that Senna. Like that support Senna is doing a lot of damage as a support at this point. And I mean, that's the basic with Senna too, is like she can be played so many different ways, and the Seraphine just complements her so well. Even like in the early game, it's like it was just poke after poke, and I mean, Jinx can't handle it, Braum can't do much about it.
Yeah, it's a strong bot lane for sure. It's a little rough. There's a couple of bans here that I see that definitely can't go through again, but here's the final push here from CEI to kind of try and end this game.
Absolutely. That is all 3 inhibitors down at 25 minutes, by the way, as well. So we do have all inhibitors down and all towers down so far. And they're just chunking down. The fight's happening, too, and they're not even trying to go after them. They're just taking the towers. They're just getting hit by the skills, and it's just like half health on Matt, half health on Lawrence. Ultimate coming in from the Jinx does end up almost taking out people, but a really...
they're walking it down. CEI have been winning from minute 1 to 25 minutes in. They're going to take that next. They're going to take game 1, and they're probably going to try and take the series out in this game 2 as well. IDT has to definitely come up with a couple of bans here. Get that Aurelia out of here. Get that Senna or the Seraphine out. Pick or choose one. But definitely, you got to limit those mistakes here. There's a couple of mistakes here that you can't walk up into no vision when a team is super far ahead. You know there's going to be 3 or 4 members in your jungle. That's all Xin Zhao's been doing is counter jungling and taking objectives because they're every lane was winning. So they're going to be somewhere in your jungle or their jungle. You got to spot them first. Maybe buy a couple more blue trinkets in there. Try to get something going. Everybody needs a pink ward on top of that team as well. With that being said, cut this game out of your mind. Game 1 never happened. It wasn't. Get the nerves out of your head. Shake it off. Taylor Swift yourself into game 2 and definitely pull yourself in to I just want to see something a little bit simpler here. Get rid of the Aurora, try something a little bit simpler, maybe tank your team as well. Braum might have to turn into a Lulu or just anything like that that's going to keep up with that poke from Seraphine. There's definitely a better pick out there. It's not coming to my mind right now. Maybe a J4 in that jungle in the top lane is going to have to be probably a tankier person than that. Or I mean, I don't even think top lane was a problem. The only problem up there was once you lost that top lane, you kept fighting.
Absolutely, and I mean, look at that graph there. It's just a straight upward spiral for blue. It's a little bit, and then it's just constantly getting worse. I mean, Aurora had the most damage in the game at 20.6. Kay did beat out the Gwen, but it's because she kept taking those fights into Aurelia and just not coming out on top. She got the 1 kill on Aurelia at the very end. I mean, even like the objectives, you have 11 towers to 0, 3 inhibitors to 0. You have 3 dragons, 5 grubs, 1 rift, and a baron. I really feel like getting rid of the Aurelia, getting rid of the Gwen even maybe for IDT will be the better option here. I do expect him to take blue side, honestly. Get that first pick in, get what you want to have as a guaranteed pick for yourself, and just remove anything that was causing you issues this game. The Aurelia, obviously, I think you can keep the Senna Seraphine bot lane and be fine with it. Just choose something maybe better. The Braum isn't a bad option, but the Jinx needs to have so much prep to be able to get to a point where she can actually 1v9 that game. And it just wasn't going to happen against that team.
Exactly. Yeah, it was never going to happen. You might have to go to a different play style too with that AD carry pick as well. I love Jinx. She's my most played champion, but sometimes these matchups are just not in favor of them, and especially when there's double poke on there. I mean, maybe more jungle help down there as well, but it all went wrong for them. But reset, flip that switch, and try and come back here in game 2 and come out swinging. Because I mean, CEI does not have any plans on stopping after that game 1. Just roller coaster of a game.
Absolutely, and I think honestly they're going to have to do a lot more to come back from this. And I think, like I said, mental reset. Get rid of game 1. It didn't happen. It's still a best of 3 for you. You still have to win 2 games to win. Simple as that. But they need to take the game into their own hands and not let CEI just take over like they did from game, like minute 1. Because that's what happened was Gwen started getting slowly close to top lane. Jax just kept going in for fights when he shouldn't have. And then the rest of the map was just like, oh, cool, we're winning top lane. We can just keep pushing Xin into mid, go into fights in the bottom jungle. And it's like they just walked into the enemy jungle with no worries. They're like, yeah, no, it's cool. We got this.
I think the whole team was thinking that.
It felt like it. I mean, but I think IDT does have a good chance of coming back as long as they just play the game that they need to play and just prepare themselves to, if they have to, sack a tower, sack a couple plates, but stop taking bad fights. That's the biggest one, is just don't take fights you aren't guaranteed to win, or you don't know that you're going to come out on top.
You can't win this game without fighting, though, so it is a mindset to keep. You just got to know when to fight and where to attack at.
Absolutely.
So with that being said, great job, CEI, with that game 1 win, and we'll be right back with your game 2.
I'm walking alone, the streets are empty. The only thing I can see is my own silhouette. I'm getting stronger. Ivan. I've been all around the globe trying to protect your soul.
Hello, Titan, and welcome back to Game 2 now of CEI versus IDT after I almost want to say like a monster stomp from CEI in Game 1. IDT really just kind of needs to change how they're doing things and make it to where they're going to be able to play their own game instead of getting run down by the entirety of CEI at this point.
Calm down, Wisdom. Calm down. We're still here, dude. We got possibly 2 games to go. IDT is not out of this yet, but one crazy stat I did see is the KDA differences between CEI and IDT. IDT is all locked between 1 and 1.5. CEI ranges from 4 KDA to 6 to 7 KDA. And I mean, you can tell the play style here that CEI wants to play. They want to get in, get out, like a 90s action movie, blow up everything behind them. I mean, is it Michael Bay or what is the director there? Just like Die Hard, just blow everything up, walk away, get the win, and go home. In and out like an assassin, and that's what they did in that Game 1 there. And you can tell, I mean, the finesse too. I mean, it wasn't just like a fight everything in front of you and take them all out. It was very surgical. Top mid bot took every inhib in the game by 27 minutes and just got their win. I mean, there's nothing that IDT could do about it in that Game 1. So we're going to see a huge just switch up here. I mean, flip the whole book, flip the table over, and start fresh here for Game 2 for IDT. I believe in you. You can get it done. Just got to play a more solid game, a more slower game if you want to go front to back comp. If you want to go Jinx hyper carry, if you want to go Jax, those champions need time to ramp up and be the monsters that they are in that mid to late game here. CEI got away with it because they just got fed so early. So their champions that needed to scale didn't have to scale so later in the game because they already had that gold on top of them. So, Wisdom, what do you think is going to happen in this game too?
I'm expecting like an almost like 180 in terms of bans. I don't expect to see much of the same bans. I'm hoping there's not like 15 mid bans again because they didn't do anything. It was an Aurelia versus an Aurora. Nobody, I think, saw those 2 champions coming out from either team because they were banning like Syndra, they were banning like all the basic like control mages, the Cassiopeia. Surprising there wasn't an Orianna ban, but we did have a Nivea ban. So I think as long as IDT just takes the bans better and they do more of like what they don't want to see in this current game, especially from like coming from last game, get rid of Aurelia. It's not needed to be in this game. You don't need to fight that. You can get rid of the Gwen. I don't think it's gonna make that much of a difference, but just play into those matchups better as well. Don't keep running in, especially when you're low mana, low health. You need to just play it safe if you can, and just play. Just get minions. Like especially early game, just get the minions, man. Like don't keep fighting. You don't need to like bang your head into a wall and just go for kills. You can get those CS first and then worry about the kills later. Wait for ganks. Wait for your jungler to be able to do something instead of just trying to consistently fight.
Yeah, I agree wholeheartedly right there. And it just looked like a little bit of frustration there at IDT, especially in that top lane here. I think top lane was fine the first 2 times. After that, you got to kind of cut your loss and say, okay, I just need to get as much farm as possible before 5 people come up here and ruin my day, even more than it was already ruined with just that 1v1 with the Gwen there. So I think leaving up that top lane for skill matchups is fine. The problem that we were talking about earlier is that Slacks the Thighs are very confident in that Aurelia pick. They pick it and then stomp with it. We had some insider information that they also play Riven and Yone. So I mean, pick your poison there in that mid lane. You ban 1, 2 might pop out like a Hydra head. So there's some issues going on right there. And CEI, they could go a full 180 and just start messing with IDT here. They won so fast in that Game 1. They could want to just kind of play with their food here in this Game 2. They could pull out Yone, Yasuo. They could pull out whatever they want because they stomped so hard in that Game 1. They're 2-0. They're in first place, and their KDAs are up to the moon right now. So, I mean, whatever you want to throw at IDT, I think they're going to make it happen.
Absolutely. We do have the Kog'Maw coming out for the first ban. Again, good ban for Kog'Maw. He's a very good hyperscaler, and I mean, they obviously can play that well. The Ahri ban coming out once again. So far, same ban starting us off. I think this is where we start getting it changed up. I think getting rid of just more comfortable, like just get rid of comfortable picks for them. Get yourself some comfortable picks. Cassiopeia coming out again. So far, almost the same in terms of bans from the first round.
Yeah, it's all standard so far here. IDT, I wonder what their bot lane's going to be like. So you've seen the Seraphine Sentinel last game. You played Jinx Braum into it. Are they going to try and fight fire with fire? Are they going to try and do the scaling again? Kog'Maw and Twitch both banned out here. So they're kind of forcing out the same kind of picks here for CEI. So either IDT has a plan and routine to follow through that's going to stop that game 1 from happening again here in game 2, or it might just be a quick 2-0 and everyone's going to go home and see us in the rest peacefully tonight.
I mean, the Mordekaiser ban coming out is kind of interesting. They do get Ashe onto Ligor, which is their most played. So at least one comfort pick's coming out so far for the side of IDT. And that's a good start. Ashe is crazy insane in the first place. She has her arrow. She can do so much in terms of, even if she's behind. We actually do see the Varus coming out. So more than likely lethality Varus. I don't think they're going to go on hit. It doesn't make sense now right now with like the items and everything like that. Lethality is just so much better and it can do so much more.
Yeah, I agree there. And I think Ashe is like the missing piece that they needed last game there. They weren't able to back up that bot lane and tell them to kind of back off my tower, back up from the CS, back up from whatever here. And Vi going to come out for CEI again, so another lockdown champion. Milio, I love here because you're already seeing the Varus, you're seeing the Vi. You're going to need a lot of peel here going out. And Milio just kind of gives you some breathing room here. Like, hey, you're a little bit too close here, dude. COVID rules again. We're going to have to back you up a little bit, 6 feet apart here. Stay away from my AD carry. And Nocturne definitely wants to go in and be untouchable here. So Varus should have a hard time dealing with that Nocturne.
Absolutely. I mean, again, that's going to be like 2 global ultimates so far. I'm confused how there's 2 Mordekaisers. I see a ban, I see a pick. I'm not sure if something's messed up here or if I'm just losing my mind right now. I'm guessing the Mordekaiser is something different, but the Mordekaiser is picked up for the side of Titan. That could also be mid or top at this point. It's hard to tell.
There's Aurelia ban there, so Mordekaiser is not Aurelia or Riven. We're not sure yet, though.
Mord is picked, not banned, by the way. Mord is picked, so Mord is in the running now for the game.
Oh, okay. Should be a good top lane pick there. Kind of hard to deal with that Mordekaiser with any pick you get. It's really a skill matchup into whatever goes in that top lane. If it's a Jax or another on-hit person again, definitely gonna have to deal with an annoying Mordekaiser in that top lane. So great pick for the side of CEI.
Absolutely, and we do have the. Okay, so I think we're getting okay. So the Seraphine's banned. Got it. I think we're gonna have a Fizz pick at the end there. So I think it's gonna be Mordekaiser top, Fizz mid. If what I'm seeing happening is happening so far, where the picks have been getting banned, but they're actually being picked. But we do have Lulu with Varus. Varus Lulu is gonna be really good. Picks is gonna be so helpful to lethality, especially just because it's gonna be so much more damage coming out. We do have the Ornn coming out for Lawrence, and then the Zoe. So we do have a different mid lane pick this time. Zoe coming out. That could be. Okay, so we have Hui being. I'm confused now at this point. My brain's just. You don't know what's happening. You're good, man. You're good. You're good.
I kind of went into like a whole different zone right there too. I was trying to wrap my head around what's going on right now.
I think so. Lulu Fizz has been picked. So we have Fizz into Zoe in the mid lane. We have Ornn into Mord. We have Lulu Varus versus Ashe and Milio, and then we have Nocturne versus Vi. These seem much more consistent matchups and like actual better picks. I think for IDT this game.
Yeah.
So I think we should see a much better matchup as a whole. The Ornn ultimate coming through. A lot of global ultimates coming in from Nocturne, from Ashe. A lot of lockdown as well with the Zoe Sleepy Turbo Bubble. Nocturne, of course, blinding people. It's going to be a much safer game, I think, as well, because with the Milio being able to take care of the Ashe, a lot better than I think that the Braum could.
Yeah, IDT going with some bread and butter here, a little side of mashed potatoes and gravy as well, with just a normal front to back, huge tank in that front here with the Ornn, a lot of health and armor as well. On top of that, Zoe able to pick out and choose who they want to take out first, but CEI, you thought they were fighting that first game, they're scrapping here in game 2 with that Vi pick and the Mordekaiser, Varus and Lulu. We could see an on-hit build from the Varus as well. We'll have to wait and see. Lethality, I do believe, is a lot better though. I like the poke potential as well, especially with like an Ashe Milio. You don't really want to fight them head on anyways, so poking them out first and then getting a close and personal after is a lot easier. Pro Comps had the winning team last game. I wonder who they're going to pick for this game too.
They actually didn't. They actually did think. I think that IDT was going to win the game with a 63% win rate, and it did not happen. But I think actually it's going to be on hit Varus because he's running lethal tempo, the new one at least. And usually you see, and IDT's getting the better chance again, 53.1 to 46.9 from Procom. So we'll see if it's right this time. But I think the Varus on hit does make more sense with the Ornn, with the Nocturne. You're going to want to have that third hit damage from lethal tempo coming out.
Right. Yeah, it's going to be a little bit simple and easier here for IDT in this game too with their comp that they have, and it's definitely gonna be a lot of work here for Varus to take down any part of Nocturne and Orange. So having that on hit, having the extra lifesteal, having the more safe build is gonna help them out in that middle to late game as well. With that being said, though, Socks with Eyes came off of that game 1 stomp on the Aurelia, and now they're in a champion where they can't really do that and dive like that until that level 6 to level 10 kind of power spike there with that Fizz. So we'll have to wait and see if Socks with Eyes is ready to come out swinging again, or if they're going to kind of sit back and wait for the chances to happen here on that Fizz.
Absolutely. And I mean, again, both teams getting some early poke down, but it seems a lot less volatile already. I mean, you don't have like mid lane just going in for fights every 2 seconds. You don't have top lane just going in for a fight. They are getting some poke down. Trux is getting hit a little bit. Gets the shield up. Mordekaiser into Ornn is definitely interesting, and especially since he's just getting kind of bullied by that Ornn right now.
Yeah, I mean, there's a whole different matchups here for this game too, and yeah, Ornn's getting a little bit caught out here. Ligor taking a lot of damage as well.
Both of them are honest. I mean, the Varus is just such a good pick into Milio and Ashe. I mean, like, he has really good early game poke, and then I mean, Milio's health bars are just getting destroyed by that Q, getting it dragged across. Once you get the stacks on Varus and you get the Q damage done with the max HP, it's gonna be a lot more volatile into that. And
there's a big issue we have going on right now because the side of CEI, they know that Nocturne's not really going to do anything until level 6, so all the laners on their team right now are able to just kind of go in and attack.
And actually, Fizz does get caught out by the Zoe Trouble Bubble. May actually end up going down to Nocturne. Does flash away, does get killed, but we do actually see the flash coming in from both Zoe and Nocturne. Some miscommunication there, but it is first blood over to IDT this game.
That's really going to help them out and help their mental out here after that game 1 as well. I mean, getting that first blood can really help you out to kind of get your mental back, and mid lane definitely needed that. That Zoe's going to need a lot of damage here in the later parts of the game. Great job getting that first blood, and getting that early gank off as well.
Yeah, I think the double flashes was just, like I said, miscommunication, which is fine though. I mean, they got the kill. It was worth it. Ornn does get taken down very low by the Mordekaiser, and with his ability of just using his shield into healing, it's going to be able to stay there. We do actually still have the CS lead for Socks Death Eyes, though, 21-14 right now.
Wait on Vi to get an answer going on as well. We've seen Nocturne getting that early gank off. I'm wondering if Vi will be able to make a play happen here, whether it's the bot lane or the mid lane.
Looks like it's going to be bot lane. Does actually flash over the bubble from Milio. Milio does actually get taken down almost by Varus, but Varus does get close to the dead. Gets the Ashe in there. And I mean, that is crazy good flash away from the Milio. Gets the heal down as well. Does survive. Ligor is full health currently. And I mean, Varus getting taken down very low. Gets a tarot shot. Almost had 2. If he had done the second one, I think he would have died.
Fighting
and Lawrence
top lane.
flashes away. Honestly, IDT coming out looking like a different team this game. That's 2 kills now to 0. We do see the flash from Wheeze and from Lawrence both, but Wheeze does get killed by the Nocturne, so that's a 101 Nocturne now at the start of this game.
Yeah, IDT looking a lot better here in this game too. Great start off of them as well. 2-0 already. Almost 1,000 gold lead up. Matt looking like they want to make a different name for themselves here in this game too. Already ganked twice here on that Nocturne before level 6 and got 2 kills out of it. So great job by them. Mordekaiser getting a little bit caught out there in that top lane. That's going to help out Lawrence as well. You don't want your top lane tank just getting completely buried in that top lane. So great job to relieve some of that pressure there. With that being said, sometimes players play better when they're mad, and I wonder if IDT's mad right now, or they just don't want to look. They don't want to have that 0-2 under their belt. So I think there's a little bit more just concentration here in this game, and they shook the nerves off. So great job by them.
Absolutely, and we do have a top lane like one with Mordekaiser versus Ornn. Ornn does get some damage out. And honestly, I think Cheshire is looking a lot more comfortable on that Zoe than the Aurora. They've been playing really well with it. They've been getting a lot of good combos off. The Fizz has been actually getting caught out by a lot of sleepy turbo balls, even though it's like not going through any type of terrain. It's just like point blank almost. Definitely interesting to see, and it's a good way to be like keeping them off of you and making them have to go back. Does miss the E from Florence, but does get some more damage done. Does get the minions. Much closer top lane as well. 23-24 right now. Mid lane still 10 CS lead. Cheshire is getting that pink ward down, so that's more gold for them.
Yeah, that trouble bubble is very deceiving too. Sometimes you think it's gone, and the area effect kind of lingers around, and you're still caught out by it. I've been killed dozens of times there playing AD carry, and
Ornn is actually an ulti onto the Mordekaiser. Does get it off. Does get him down to about a quarter health. Mordekaiser doesn't have his ultimate and is going to end up going down to that Ornn. That is a 101 Ornn now, and honestly, IDT just showing up a lot better this game than they did last.
Yeah, new game, new me, new IDT, but here comes Fizz.
Fizz chunks that Zoe. Zoe does go down, gets a kill back over for him. I mean, that was such a good combo by Socks with Eyes. I think... I mean, I feel like obviously like the Irelia is more of an assassin. Fizz is also an assassin. I think they just play really well on those champions. It seems like.
Yeah, I mean, and the confidence to go in right after they just seen Nocturne in that mid lane too, and just as soon as Nocturne walked away, like, oh, okay, you're gone, bye. So Zoe getting taken out right there, gonna have to walk of shame back to that mid lane here after that death. Nocturne's here to fight back though.
Yep, it does actually get hit by the fear from the Nocturne, but actually does get close to going down. Vi is there to help, but does get solo killed by the Nocturne. Nocturne is going to end up almost dying to the Vi. Ornn's there to help. Zoe's there. Does walk back into him, and I'm not sure what's going to happen. I mean, honestly, they're just playing this so much better, this game. And it seems like almost like a different team in terms of like what they've been doing. The communication's been a lot better. Ornn coming down to help. Nocturne almost dying but getting away. And Vi actually could have ended up dying there if she had stayed too long.
Yeah, well, looking at what IDT, their highest masteries are on, this is kind of their play style here. Just normal, good old League of Legends here with the tank top, damage dealing jungler, and fresh AP mid laner. And then you have a solid bot lane down there that isn't going to just get completely poked out and destroyed here. So great job IDT to really flex themselves out and bring it back to normal here in this game too.
Absolutely, and Socks with Eyes does take some additional damage from Zoe. Zoe also getting chunked down to about half health. I mean, not as many fights happening, and I mean, it seems like Socks with Eyes is just trying to play a lot more meditated. It actually does get the ultimate down onto Zoe. Zoe does get chunked down and is going to get flashed on.
Wow.
Ends up dying, and Zoe lives with a sliver of health.
I thought that Zoe was dead to rights there. Great job to withstand a lot of that damage and just keep moving, keep moving, keep moving. If you're standing still, you're definitely gone. So great job there by Cheshire to keep that play alive and get the return kill. Tower damage really helping out right there as well. Socks with Eyes looking like they want to repeat this success they had in that game one, but different champion, different scaling, different levels here, and you're already down. I mean, 2 kills and CS up there. Asher going down.
By the Asher, exactly, and I mean that's going to be a Nocturne ultimate coming as well. Gets the fear almost down, does flash away from both. But that's going to be a dead spy over to Nocturne. We're going to have Ligor going almost down to Varus. Does end up getting hit by the bubble. And that's actually may end up being a dead Socks to Thighs from that Nocturne. Does jump away, gets the kill with Bam. Bam taking the kill on the Nocturne. Ligor getting very low to death. This is just... I mean, they're going back with the fights again, but the fights are actually going out better for IDT this time. Because right now it's a 1-for-0. Or 1-for-1, I think it was. I think Fizz... No, by none. But I mean, this is just a complete 180, and it's just what we needed to see happening.
They got the dragon too, so great job by them. IDT being very proactive here and really trying to set the record straight and force themselves into a game 3 as fast as possible. I mean, the Lulu ulti definitely saved that there with Socks with Eyes. Matt doing so much damage here in the early game with this Nocturne. I thought they're gonna 1v3 here. I'm not sure why the rest of the team didn't kind of follow up with that one. I think they could have definitely had a 4-for-1 and the dragon as well, but they still won that fight no matter what here, and the dragon's definitely a shiny medals for you this early in the game. 10 minutes in, 6-2, and I mean that last graph we seen in game 1 was just like a stairs, like a stepping stones of CEI having the lead every part of that game here. Finally, we're seeing IDT in game 2 having a little bit of the graph here in this game 1 or game 2 at 10 minutes. So hopefully they can keep their graph trajectory going towards the top here. We'll have to see if CEI is gonna hit these ultimates and start fighting 5v5, or they're gonna continue to push down each lane.
Absolutely. I mean, honestly, you can just tell it's comfort picks as well. Like the Zoe seems like a lot better for Cheshire. Matt seems a lot more comfortable on that Nocturne, and I mean, he's been making plays all around the map, even before level 6. Another fight coming out in Balian, actually. I think we did have the Asher is still up. Could go for it onto the Varus. Varus actually does kill Ligor. Ligor doesn't even use the ultimate at all, unfortunately. And that is a kill over to Bam. Bam is now 2-0 on that Varus. It looks like we're going to have a 3-3 for those grubs currently as well.
Yeah, not sure what was going on right there. Maybe the Astro could be a bug and it's not actually up though. But I mean, if it was up, you kind of just want to push that ulti and walk it out, because Poodle had nothing to really help you out with either, but they did have the ulti just a little bit early. I'm going to see the blue team gets a Void Coats here in the top lane, and CEI trying to get a play out of it as well, but they will be just a little bit too late here. So, I mean, Matt really putting in work here in this game too for IDT and really helping out their team, making sure that nobody gets too far behind to where they can't come back into the later parts of this game. I need to see IDT carry this one out throughout the whole entirety of this game here to really make sure that they are on this the right path for the series.
Absolutely. And I mean, they are playing a much better game. I do think that CEI is going to have a better chance of getting back into the game, though. I mean, Fizz is up by 20 CS, Forest is up by 16 already. More fighting happening in the top lane with Mordekaiser versus the Ornn. Nothing's going to come out of it. But I mean, CEI, while they are behind in gold, actually, it's even up in gold now. The ultimate coming in from the Ornn, Nocturne isn't top tied, so they're not going to be able to do that anything. I'm not sure what's going on with that. I mean, Ornn trying to get in for the kill, gets some good damage down, but Weez could be able to just walk away. Does pull him back in, but that's Ornn ultimate down. All of his spells are expended. I mean, he almost got the kill, but it's like, I feel like you should have waited with the ultimate to guarantee a kill versus just trying to get one down.
Yeah, I'm wondering if they're trying to force Mordekaiser out of the lane, but they're going to take some tower shots. It's still going. Mordekaiser going down.
That's right. And there's also a fight bot lane. We have 4 people bot lane actually for the side of CEI. Nocturne ultimate coming in, goes onto the Varus. Actually gets taken down within seconds. Nocturne actually getting caught up by the enemy. Does almost get hit by the ultimate from Fizz, but has that spell shield up. And that's going to be a dead mat over to Trash Panda. Toxin taking some easy tower shots, but gets away. And that is going to be 2 for 0. So, I mean, CEI looking a lot better now from that fight. And they've almost evened up the kills. They actually have taken the gold lead this time. So, IDT had the gold lead earlier. They have now lost it. They're down by 1,000 gold. Almost 1.1k now. I mean, CEI coming back hard with those fights.
All that plate gold, too, on top of that. 2 kills. Ashe is not having a fun time here. And, I mean, this bot lane tower is almost gone already at 13 minutes in. And this is kind of the issue that we're seeing. CEI just looks so cohesive. Poodles might get dove here. Trash Panda's going to stay. Bot lane looking kind of scary here again here. Lagor is back from the dead, but will they go right back to a gray screen? Trash Panda going to start that back timer and will actually go back home. So yeah, I mean, great play there by CEI, and they just look so cohesive in the plays that they're making.
Matt is back bot lane, but we actually do have the teleport coming in from Mordekaiser for CEI. Bam almost gets caught out by the Nocturne, but doesn't end up getting polymorphed. Has to flash away and almost dies. Mordekaiser almost pulling him back in. He does sidestep it. But I mean, that is such a crazy turnaround right there that Matt trying to go in from the back. The Mordekaiser teleporting in. We do actually have Zoe coming in with the bubble hitting onto Mordekaiser and actually gets a Luden's proc onto Trucks as well, but they are going to back out. Very close for the Fizz, the Varus there for a little bit, and the Lulu almost dying. Ornn actually going to get some free towers, plates up top as well. Actually, plates just dropped, unfortunately, but he's going to get some free damage onto that tower and try and get that first tower of the game.
Yeah, I'm surprised Zoe didn't try and go for a couple of poke Qs there and try to land some of those final blows there on top of maybe Saxathize or the Varus as well. CEI will choose to recall, though. Nothing lost there. Great job by Weez to go in that bot lane and stop that gank from happening as well. TP will be down. Now Lawrence is going to find himself into a 1v1 again. Tower gone.
And that is first tower gold for him, so that's going to put him up 600 additional gold. He is actually up 1,400 gold right now, but I mean, Weez making it look like it doesn't make a difference to him. Like, he's up 2 levels too, 11 to 9. But Mordekaiser just constantly pushing it onto that. Ornn may actually get the kill down, but does get away with his E. Almost gets him down. And that is Matt getting caught out once again. Great spell shield, though, on that Varus ultimate. That was picture perfect right there.
That was picture perfect. That was insane. Cheshire and Matt are down here in the bot lane trying to defend that bot lane tower. That's a quarter health. Lawrence is not able to back at all, though. Weez could look for a dive potential with the ultimate if they wanted to try that out. Vi will take the grubs. The Rift Herald actually in that top lane there. CEI, I mean, they definitely are not scared of any leads going on.
Absolutely not. And actually, Ornn does dodge the Q from Mordekaiser, but does actually end up going in, may end up dying to Mordekaiser. And he could have honestly just walked out, and he just gave him a kill for honestly nothing. Trucks getting a half health by 1 Q. Teleport coming in from Fizz this time. Ultimate coming out from Lulu. And that's going to be a dead mat. Ultimate coming in from the Ashe, hits Trucks. Holy moly. Bam getting another kill onto the Nocturne, and Cheshire actually getting taken very low as well. That's a 3-0-2 Varus already at 16 minutes now. I mean, it was 6-2 at one point. We're now 7-6. So I mean, CEI coming back very hard with this, trying to get those waves pushed in, trying to get these towers down, and just playing a better game. It feels like at this point.
Yeah, and IDT kind of playing into the fire here with that. I mean, I don't know why we're defending that bot lane tower for so long down there, but great job by CEI to know where the weak points are at on the game right now. Because of that tower being so low, there's not really too much protection down there, and throwing everything at the Lulu lane is not going to help out with all the bursts that you have because of the shielding and the ultimate and the heal. So just we got to really tighten it back up again. IDT, I think, got just a little bit too confident here going into that 10 to 12 minute mark, and now everything is back to normal, and CEI is back on top where they started here. 6 to 7 kills, and then 2k gold lead above here for CEI. Dragon and Dragon, and I think they took everything in that top lane. They have a Rift Herald as well. Just look for Vi to even make another play here for that third Dragon, or just to take down that mid lane tower. Mordekaiser being the menace that they are, already took down that top lane as well. So CEI, looking like they never missed a beat here. I don't think they even cared about that first 10 minutes of the game going on here, and IDT really has to come back together. I think the missing link here is going to be that Ornn. But since Ornn leads that top lane, Mordekaiser is not going to leave it. They're just going to keep running it down that top lane. So it's going to be a rough little mark here in the mid game for game 2.
Absolutely. And I mean, honestly, I think the biggest thing that we saw is like it really feels like, I mean, actually we have Buffet coming up top lane. We do have the Ornn ultimate coming down. We actually have Ash Arrow coming in as well. Does the Nocturne use his ultimate? We may see it. There's going to be a fear happening, and that is going to be a dead Mordekaiser going over to the side of Matt. Matt now 4-3-1. I think actually is getting caught out by Sivir Trouble once again. Does get ignited by the Zoe. Does take that damage, but it's actually may end up actually getting the kill onto Zoe. Doesn't get the kill onto the Fizz. I mean, Fizz for a time there was 0-3. He's now 3-3-0.
Yeah.
I mean 3-3-3. He's 3 across the board. I mean, Soxify is playing so much better as a whole right now than what we saw at the very beginning of this game.
Just Fizz things right there. Once you hit level 6, it's a little bit of a game over for anybody opposing them. You're gonna see Varus grab that Bork, and they're gonna go on him as well with that Lulu. And yeah, Cheshire was looking so good and able to stay alive there with the tower in front of them, but now with no tower help at all, it's not a winning lane for them at all. And a great pick up there for IDT for that top lane. I was gonna say, now you can move your chess pieces down and kind of start working your way towards another 5v5 or a 4v4 or whatever you want to do here. Work towards your cooldowns, try and pull stuff out. Try and get people to blow flashes so you can come back around again. Try and get some picks as well going on. I mean, once that pressure is gone from a side lane, you can kind of move your pieces in and start forcing fights.
Absolutely. And I mean, Vi still has that Rift Herald available, and they're actually going to use it on mid lane, which makes sense. They want to get the tower down. Ash having some good arrows, but it really feels like she needs to be doing more with them and actually making sure that these fights are in their favor. Consistent. I mean, we have 5 people sitting in mid right now for the side of IDT. Zoe on the top side, we have Ornn and Nocturne sitting in mid. Mordekaiser's just pushing bot lane, and top lane is already pushed almost to that second tier tower for top side. I mean, CEI, while they're pushing the side lanes, they're making sure that their mid lane's fine. Like Varus, Lulu is such a good pick, especially with doing the on-hit Varus. Like I said, like going into the Ornn's gonna be crazy good, especially with the front to back fights. Because Ornn's gonna try and like sit there on top of the carries as much as he can. He wants to just take up as much pressure and power. I mean, Mordekaiser's going to be able to just take away anybody he wants to. I think it's going to end up honestly being the Ashe, because you aren't going to try and go for the Ornn or the Nocturne because they have ways of removing it. Ornn's W can remove it, and then Nocturne has Spell Shield, which he's already shown that he does a really good job with getting that immediate hit from the Spell Shield.
Yeah, yeah. There's a lot of X factors going on here in this game too, and honestly, it's still a toss up in the air. I'm not sure which team's going to pull out ahead here. Baron play could definitely help that out, whatever team gets that one, but the problem here is IDT's kind of in a jam. They're at like a fork in the road kind of thing. You can either try and 5v5 this one out, or you can keep doing what you're doing right now, which is chasing around the Fizz, chasing around the Mordekaiser, kind of playing into CEI's little mind tricks here. The problem that IDT is going to follow here is if there's a pick that goes through, one of those side laners are going to grab a tower, grab an inhib, or just take away the whole game here. So you got to be very picture perfect on the side of IDT if you want to pull out this game 2 win and force that game 3. Make sure everybody is walking together as a team, walking into places that you know there's somebody in there. Make sure there's somebody with you, and we're gonna have a huge dragon fight here at this 21-minute mark.
Absolutely. I mean, we do see Fizz on the top side. We do have Varus coming back down mid lane right now. Fizz honestly does have teleport up. He could just keep pushing the top side if he wanted to. Ornn is coming up from that bot side as well. And I mean, it's a good fight. It is currently 21 minutes in, so we're already about 4 minutes away from last game. So it's doing a lot better already for IDT side. They've played this a lot slower, which is what they need to do. Ornn getting caught out by the Mordekaiser. He gets a little bit of poke. We do see 5 people, and Fizz, what we were talking about, already taking out the tower. That is an ultimate coming down onto both Mars and Lulu. Lulu does use his ultimate. And Astro coming in. That is Wee taking out Matt. Toxin does try to go in on the back line, but does end up getting knocked out. Vi ultimate on to Ligor. Ligor does have to flash away. Poodle gonna be taken down immediately by the Fizz, and this is actually a 5v5 fight now. But I mean, that's just the power of having that Fizz pushing top lane. That tower went down, immediately teleported in, and I mean, Ornn tried to get that early engage off by taking it on like a 45, but didn't. I mean, they only hit like the Lulu, so it didn't do too much for them in the first place.
CEI is surprisingly more tanky than you would think on paper here. I mean, Mordekaiser just with that Rylai's and the second item as well, and then Vi survived a lot of damage here. Cheshire might go down here in the mid lane though. Varus gonna go down as well. Huge shutdown over to the Zoe, but I mean that's just kind of a little bit of a band-aid here in the middle of this game. That'll be a second dragon over to CEI as well, and after that huge team fight, I mean, there's not much you can really do after that one. Fizz comes in, try to blow up Fizz, and just not enough front to back damage here. You gotta kind of pull your fights out of these tunnels here, these lockdown jungle fights here, and these lanes are not gonna work out for you when there's so much AoE damage and just front to back lockdown and CC out of the whole team of CEI here. Pull them into your own lanes, pull them into focus points here in the middle of your towers or waves. It's gonna run out of your hands. This game's gonna go real quick in the side of CEI. The measure's gonna tilt just way in their favor if they don't kind of slow it down and pick out the fights a lot better than they did in the last one.
Absolutely agree. I mean, honestly, the Varus dying there between those towers, I think was just a lot of miscommunication. It feels like they were like, getting a little too cocky on there trying to get that Zoe, and the Zoe ended up just being able to blow the Varus up. We do actually have Matt sitting top lane with this Fizz. Fizz does flash away, so Ornn ultimate actually does get him with that, and that's going to be a dead Soxithize over to almost actually gets the kill onto Matt. Zoe does go down to Mordekaiser, but that is going to be a kill for Matt. Matt has been trying to take this game into his own hands. He's now 5-4-1, doing a lot better than last game with the Udyr, and I think it's because he has a lot more just ability of actually making plays happen.
Yeah, I mean, IDT is taking what's given to them, but they're really playing in what CEI wants out of them. You're picking which side laner to get, but the other side laner is still carrying the whole team on their back. I mean, Wheat's 3-3-3, 167 farm. Isn't like out of the way for the Ornn, but I mean, Ornn definitely needs a match up with Mordekaiser because CEI, they just want to pull you in one direction, and while you're looking over here, they're going to do a magic trick on the bot lane at the top lane here and take whatever's in front of them that's going to be easy and free to take. So I mean, you get the Fizz, you take them out, but I mean, this Mordekaiser is just turning into a pentakill Mordekaiser. I mean, it's going to be unkillable here after 3 or 4 items on top of this champion, which is going to happen pretty soon if they keep side laning like this.
Absolutely, we're going to be seeing raid boss Mordekaiser coming in. I think.
Yeah, there you go.
I mean, Ornn's running the Jack show. The ornaments are going to start coming through since we have Ornn at level 14. Once they're hitting higher levels, he's going to be able to get more ornaments out there. The Kraken Slayer has been upgraded on Ashe, so that's going to be very good for her. But she's going to have to be able to live and survive long enough to actually be able to use that for her advantage. Because, I mean, Fizz can easily just jump on her. Vi's been jumping on Ashe consistently. Mordekaiser can pull the Ashe in. I mean, like, there's a lot of a CC on the side of CEI where they can just go, your Ashe hero is great and all, and you can try and attack us, but it's not going to make that much of a difference if you're just dead.
Yeah, we're really seeing the downfall of Nocturne right now. There's nobody that Nocturne can really jump on without somebody else in front of them, obviously. I mean, the 1v1s are not really working out in Nocturne's favor, but Vi is kind of just that CC bot, that tank, that fighter style champion that all they have to do is push the R button and kind of stay alive and work their way into locking down these members of IDT that can't escape like that. So there's going to be a huge issue here going into 30 minutes of the game right now, and 5k goal lead already for CEI, and they're waiting for IDT to make a mistake, and they're just capitalizing it. They're striking like a cobra so quick right here in this game too.
Absolutely. I mean, we did see like a 2-level lead earlier on the Orin for the Mordekaiser. That was only a 1-level lead, 15 to 14, or 15 to 15 now actually. So Mordekaiser is now the same level. Mid, same type of thing, 14-13 for Sox's Eyes over Cheshire. Jungle actually the same level as the mid lane champions right now, which is crazy. And it just shows that there's been a lot of fighting happening. I mean, you have 219 CS for that Fizz versus 152 on the Zoe. And Fizz, I mean, is going to be able to scale about as good as you can hope with those items. I mean, already sitting on a death cap as the third item. Like, it's kind of crazy that Fizz was like 0-3 at the beginning of this game, and now they're making that comeback really quickly and getting those items to where they're going to be able to blow up the Ashe, blow up the Millie, even blow up the Zoe possibly.
Dude, I didn't even realize it's a 70 gold lead in that mid lane right there. That is insane to think about, that Fizz just kind of ran away with that CS lead so crazily here. CS lead there for the Vi and the Mordekaiser and the bot lane as well. So CEI, I mean, they're just... This team is playing everything perfectly. It's insane how they lost that early game, and I think that IDT was ahead at some point in this game too. I mean, CEI just completely flipped the book, flipped the script, but I mean, we knew this was going to kind of happen after that game 1 stop.
Absolutely, and I mean, CEI just consistently playing the game that they need to play. They've been playing it very slowly. They've been taking the better fights for themselves, like with the 5v4 that they had against IDT. IDT had to make a move, I think, faster, because Fizz was just taking that tower topside, and he was able to just easily TT, and nobody was going to stop him with it. And he was able to blow up at least 2 people and get more assists and kills. And it's like, it's just showing like the difference in terms of like communication, because you had nobody trying to push side lanes on terms of IDT. CEI is consistently pushing those side lanes out. Like the waves going in for CEI are both going to start crashing into it. Million's the only one that they're really going to have any issues with, but they're also just destroying that dragon right now. So that's going to be dragon number 3 for the side of CEI. We actually do have the orange way coming in. Lulu gets blown up immediately, does get the dragon as well. And honestly, CEI looking really bad for this fight, but Varus not even doing damage. He's just walking around right now. Doesn't have the ability, he doesn't get the kill on as I say that.
Ligo running for their life too. Orin get taken down, and now Poodle's stuck by the lonesome here on this Milio. There's nothing they can really do about it.
Absolutely not. And I mean, it's a 4-2 there. Liger was looking really good, but then he got blown up again immediately by that Fizz, by that Varus. Varus for half that fight was just kind of like trying to attack, but couldn't really get attacks down because he ended up stopping his auto attacks. But he does end up getting 417 now, 234 CS. The Ashe is sitting at 0-4 right now, which is very unfortunate, and that's going to be an easy Baron call. 4/5 of that team is dead. The only person that's alive is Milio, and they can't really stop that Baron from happening.
Great job by CEI right there. Lost the dragon, but they won the fight, and that's all that matters here. And they're going to get that Baron. That's going to be like the last nail in the coffin right now for IDT in this game too. I think the Baron is going to just take this goal lead and just skyrocket it as well. Trash Panda gonna die to the Baron. What is going on?
Oh my goodness!
I get the last shot on that one.
I think the issue you have, I don't think lethal tempo is, I don't think it's the best option for even like for on hit bars. I think Halo Blades would have been better personally, and I think the issue that you had was that Vi was taking way too much of that tanking on the Baron. She kept getting the debuff and just immediately got killed. Varus probably could have like gone in a little bit and tried to take some of that away from her to try and keep her alive a little longer. And I think they were hoping that Lulu would come over a little faster and get the shield down. Unfortunately, that didn't happen. Vi did die to Baron, so there's going to be 1 kill for Baron. So Baron's doing great so far.
I mean, they got it. That's all that matters, and that's the only job they need to get done here. I was going to talk a little bit about that dragon play again. They got the dragon on the side of IDT, right? But
yes,
we were just talking about the gold lead that CEI has, the CS lead that they have, the tower lead that they have, everything else that they have that IDT doesn't have, they could have got with that dragon play, and they would have had that Baron pressure as well, and they would have never lost that fight and never lost that Baron. You don't have to fight for a second Drake.
And Nocturne and Mordekaiser, Nocturne and Origin actually just sitting there. Mordekaiser gets blown up immediately, but topside getting pushed in, does get the ulti down onto Cheshire, does actually knock into Ligor. What a misplay by that Zoe ultimate, and Zoe does blow up Lulu, but also gets her life taken out by the Varus. Poodle getting taken down very low, and I mean, I don't think that was the best option to ulti into your AD carry and take them down to half health with the Fizz ultimate, but what do I know? Chum the Waters is just a crazy thing. Ashe actually does get the kill onto Varus, though. Fizz taking down Milio, does get taken down by Nocturne, actually. Nocturne, I think, taking that kill from Ashe. And Trash Panda just also getting stuck out, does go ultimate onto Ashe, but Ashe is able to walk away a little bit, does actually get taken very low, and that is another kill over to Ashe. That is a full ace on IDT side, and that's exactly what they needed to try and turn this game around.
Look at IDT fighting for their lives right now. They don't want to go home yet. They don't want to call this a loss. They want to keep trying this one out. They are 0-2 in their last too serious here, so they definitely want to win it. And you can tell like there's a lot of fight in this team right now, and I appreciate seeing that. I mean, you get stomped in game 1, and now game 2 is looking like a loss, but you're still trying and you're still fighting and you're not giving up, and that's something to really appreciate here out of this team right now. You can tell that these 5 players on the side of IDT really care for each other, and they want to just keep trying and keeping their mentals in terms of winning. So great job by them to grab that ace. On the other hand, though, CEI got that Baron and they got an inhib. So I think their plan and their job was done. I like that Lawrence and Matt were able to get a pick and go straight top lane to help out their team though on the side of IDT.
I agree. And actually, the fight was also won for the side of IDT without having some ornaments out there, because Orange actually just got 2 more down, Echoes of Helia on Emilio, and then the Eclipse on Nocturne, both getting upgraded. So they didn't even have those additional stats available yet, and they still won that last fight. They're doing a really good job of picking out the Mordekaiser. Ornn Nocturne is such a good combo because it's just knock up into blind into fear, and I mean it just shows that they're doing a lot better communicating this game than it feels like they did last game. And with Lawrence actually doing a lot better this time, he's actually making more of an impact in the game too. It's not the Jax going 0-4 early and then just not being able to make any plays. It's him playing Ornn and going, I can just consistently push into Mordekaiser because it's a noodle fight sometimes, but I can also bring in the Mordekaiser, bring in the Nocturne, excuse me, and just consistently kill you on Mordekaiser. Because Mordekaiser's health bar got demolished by that Eclipse with the 3 attacks.
Top lane shoving in for the side of CEI. Dragon gonna be spawning in about 2 minutes here. Where's that Baron timer actually? Dragon gonna be spawning about
10 seconds for Dragon. So we have
10 seconds for that Dragon. Could have another fight going on the side of IDT if they want it, but I mean at this point, you're playing with chances here that you can't really take. I mean, this next fight could be the game.
And that is actually Toxin going on to Matt. Does save his ultimate. Actually, no, he did waste it onto the W from Nocturne. Does get put to sleep. Matt getting taken down so fast though, and Ornn going up to the top side trying to get that wave push down. I'm not sure what Millie is doing on the Baron side right now. He's completely off in his own little world, it feels like, and I'm not sure what's happening right now with that.
I think they're gonna try and send in Matt to get that seal.
It's such a good dodge, dude. Socks to thighs with an amazing dodge on that bubble, and then just jumps into where Zoe came. The Ashero did actually miss, I believe, and that's gonna be an easy dragon over. Again, it's just the split didn't make sense. I'm not sure what Millie was topside, and he should have been at least like by dragon to help out.
He was just up there to put some wards down, so if they did lose that dragon, the Baron didn't go away again. But I mean, you had a whole minute and a half on that Baron, and now CEI is knocking on your door, and they're telling me, give me your Nexus and give me your money so we can get the series and take it home.
Exactly. I mean, Varus just putting out good damage. Seeing out 3 items right now is working towards what looks to be possibly a Randuin's. I'm not sure what exactly builds out of a Chain Vest and a no, it's not an Electric Mental, but the upgraded version of that.
CEI is running away with the game right now. Bot lane's already pushing in again. Almost 3 inhibs down here in this 34-minute mark. So I mean, IDT, they did beat the record of withstanding the brunt force of CEI in this game too. But CEI looking like they never missed a beat again here. 3 dragons up. Baron gonna be spawning about 15 seconds there. I don't know, why are we fighting for a 3rd or 4th dragon here on the side of IDT? Why not send the 5v5 into that one? If you don't want the 5v5 with the dragon, set up your vision on the Baron, try and get that Baron vision going down so you can fight for that as well. You knew you could win a fight before, so try and win this fight next time, but it might be a little too late now here at this minute mark, because I think we see that Fizz bought an item, and now we're going to fight it all over again. Here we go.
Does take Pluto down to under half health. Cheshire getting taken down to half health from just a QW, and that is an enemy, and almost dead Zoe. Does get the flash out. Ultimate coming down on a Matt, but does use his spell shield. But Matt just getting taken down to 3/4 health. Does get pulled in by the Mordekaiser. It's going to get the fear off on the Mordekaiser, but I mean, Matt, I'm not sure what Freshman is trying to do, but does get the kill onto the Nocturne. Ligord getting the stun down, gets the kill onto Fizz. Ornn taking up a lot of damage, does miss his E, unfortunately, so that is a 2-for-1 currently. Ornn getting polymorph, does end up getting taken down very low. Mordekaiser also very low. Ligor just getting chunked by that Varus and does get blown up. Bam, doing so much damage with that build so far. And it was a Jack show, is what he built, by the way. Jack show.
Bam saying just put your spells to me, Lulu. I'll carry our team into victory right now. They're going to knock on these last 2 towers that are remaining for IDT. IDT going to try and put their last stand here in this game too, but CEI is having none of it, and they're going to try and end this one out right now. Next is going down to half health, quarter health now, and they're going to win the series 2-0. Great job by CEI. Insane. What a stomp,
IDT
dude.
looked so good that the first half of the game. They looked amazing. They did exactly what we needed to do, which was play their own game. And then CEI was like, I mean, you can do that, but we're just going to play this better, and we're going to consistently get picks and push for these these objectives. And I mean, you can tell, again, early game did great for IDT, but CEI was just consistently hammering those plays back through. Fizz 26.9k damage, Bam on Varus 27.8k damage, destroying health bars, running that on-hit build on Varus so well, and just making sure that it made an impact every single fight.
Flashing into 3 people with no fear in their eyes at all. I mean, Bears is running at them saying, Lulu, push your buttons, keep slamming that WEQ all over again. And yeah, Bears taken away with that on-hit build. That was insane. IDT did put up a fight. You can see they have some blue showing finally here in the second graph. But I mean, at the end of the day, it's all mistakes. And the good news is you can fix mistakes, you can fix wave states, you can fix objectives and when to fight and when not to fight. And the good news is on the IDT team is that their players are definitely competent and confident in their champions and their play styles here. Ash looked a million times better here in that game 2. They didn't have that pressure going down from the Senna Seraphine from that game 1. But you can tell that CEI, they just it must be like a couple of veterans on there, or just play styles, or it's just, I mean, that team definitely earned their first place spot.
They're definitely playing with some veterans. Trux, I know, has been around the scene for a long time. Same with Bam, and they've both played very well in terms of past seasons and this season. Soxadize is also a very good veteran as well, having played in a lot of different leagues. I mean, they played more cohesively, and they kept punishing every mistake that IDT made. They would punish it tenfold, and they made sure that they did that every single time there was an overstep. The Ashe getting caught out multiple times was unfortunate. She started coming back later on in the game, but it was too little too late with that Varus just being able to consistently hyper carry those fights. And I feel like if you had put more, maybe have the Zoe try and take out the Varus, but she kept getting blown up by the Fizz. She couldn't even get into the fights with her Super Treble Bubble or her Qs because she couldn't even make it past that Fizz/Vi, and it was just consistent. Matt, honestly though, such a good second game for him. Looked so much better than the Udyr, but wasn't able to pull it out for his team.
Yeah, I got one last thing before we call it a night on my end here. This is from top to bottom. Doesn't matter what rank you are, what master you are, who your team is, who your teammates are, what you play. You can't fight everything. You can't pull out everything. When you have a lead, you got to try and keep that lead going. In the game of League of Legends here, again, from Challenger all the way down to Iron, if it's a second or third Drake and you're down 5-10k gold, or even just 1,000 gold, or an item behind, or anything like that, you can't fight for every objective here. You got to kind of go back to basics, get your wave states back together, get everything going, pushing on your end. Orin was able to deal with the Mordekaiser. You could have kept Orin 1v1 in them all day. Cheshire kind of fell behind there with that Fizz and Zoe matchup. But, I mean, again, CEI won off of taking control of wave states, getting their CS leads up, getting their items, and then pushing IDT against a wall there. And every time IDT was trying to get something back in return for them, CEI was one step ahead because they had their wave states intact there. They were able to keep everything at the tower, everything knocking on the IDT, but they had to answer it. And by the time IDT was able to get back into any objectives or lanes or anything like that, CEI was already 10 steps ahead and just waiting there for IDT, and that's why they got those picks.
Absolutely. And I mean, with that, that's going to be week 3 for us for here at Divinity. We will see you again next week for our 4th week. And from me and Heat, have a great night.
Bye.